Officer, this is Officer Wyatt with Irving TX.
Okay.
I was just calling about your voicemails and just to touch base with you and discuss the accident.
I'm right here.
Okay. I got your voicemails about the pedestrian involvement that you had a few days ago that me and a few officers were on, and just wanted to clear up some things you had questions on or any statements that you needed to make.
Yes. Number one, I have pictures. There's no there's no crosswalk here at all, and I was not. And in the picture, you can clearly see that I was not even really at the curb. I was just at the edge of the curb, and I was. I mean, I show the picture. I have a picture of the fender, and I cannot find the place where you're trying to say that I struck someone. There's that's a little bit harsh, and to be quite honest with you, I'm dying here financially. I am. By the time I get to Monday, I'm very close to being in a hole. I'm losing hundreds of dollars because Lyft deactivated me. I was not online with Lyft. I was headed to the car wash, and I did have my GPS on the dashboard. I had my Bluetooth on, just turned on, but I don't see anything here. I mean, I see a conflicting thing here in your, and again, I'm not condemning you. I believe that you are God's ministers. You have a purpose. I believe the police, they have each individual has a calling on their life. So I don't want to touch that, and I don't want to, degrade anyone. And so anyway, there is a conflict here. It says 20 on the contributing factor, and that on the codes it showed that to be inattention. But then it says may have contributed 76, which is cell phone other. But in your statement, you didn't put it that way. You put inattention and due to inattention and cell phone use. So Lyft may interpret that in a form that may really just kill me here. I would almost rather be arrested for cell phone use and thrown in jail. At least then I would have, something to eat and some place to lay down my head on. I really need your help. And I don't want to, make a big giant thing out of this like other people, but I really feel that it's unfair, and there was no sign of injury. It says possible injury, but it just leaves it at that, and I didn't even talk to you. I wasn't even able to talk to you. And
Mr. Carlson, I'm also with Officer Wyatt. I'm a training officer.
Yes, sir.
Andrew, 1136.
Yes,
so
sir.
Basically, what we do on situations like that, none of us were there, obviously present for the encounter. Unfortunately, your dash cam wasn't on that time, which would have saved us so much headache.
Right.
Like Officer Black described, none of us are accident investigators, and this is not, cell phone use is not illegal in the state of Texas. Just because that was put down as a possible contributing factor, the key word is possible means we weren't there. We don't know. So this is all with your insurance company. This is an insurance issue only. If they have an issue with it, it is now going to be a civil issue with your insurance company, not anything criminal proceedings. And I understand that you work for a entity or an employer that requires you to drive and use them as insurance, and I understand that. But no one's perfect. No one makes accidents. But you got to look at our side. We have a lot of moving parts there, which is an individual crying on the ground. We have you in your car. We don't know what's going on. So basically what we do is the reason why we didn't talk to you, We let Officer Black, our partner on scene, do his investigation with you. We come back, we corroborate what's going on. We try to put together what a prudent person would look at as what might have happened.
Okay.
By all means, none of these crash reports are saying, hey, this is exactly what happened, because that would be impossible to do for none of us to be there.
Yeah.
So basically what we took in is, you got to think about, this lady just got transported to the hospital. Whether or not this injury would have occurred from a low mile an hour contact, because what we're saying by striking is just a simple saying, hey, this possible piece of the vehicle might have touched this lady here.
Okay,
now,
so it's kind of like when may I ask, I'm sorry, may I ask,
so
that's kind of like when someone says, you assaulted me when you touched my shirt. You know, I mean, like when they accuse an officer and the officer didn't do anything, you know, it's just
right.
like, it's really not really a striking. You're not being hit by someone.
So along those lines, yes, you're absolutely correct. But the difference is I can look at assault and look at it and say, hey, there's no markings, there's no hurt, there's no injury. You know, same thing. Sure, whatever we saw on the side of your car, smeared dirt, etc. Who knows what that could have been? Like I said, we weren't there. You know, and she had the injury. Her injury, did it corroborate with the impact? We don't know, because we're not crash investigators. So we can't sit there and assume that what we put down in this paper, and because we have to send it up to the state, because what if this lady comes back with a broken leg and
okay, so what is the actual claim of this person? What did they actually say? Is there hurt or
so what she claimed, which was in our report, was that she was crossing the sidewalk as traffic was flowing. What she identified was that traffic that was one way going westbound on that North Service Road left it to where that you couldn't even pull out there, obviously, because there's too much traffic. You know, this is just her words. She may have glanced over at you, saw that you were looking down, possibly a GPS phone, no clue. Now, she's not saying you were flying into her, like driving dramatically, but she did make the claim that you might have pulled forward, might have hit your brake, and it touched her. Now, would it make her cause her fall? Don't know. Don't know her position of stance or balance, etc. She had her kid behind her. Maybe she pushed him back, but there's a lot of unknown for us to show up to.
But I mean,
because the way these accidents happen, they are just insane to us.
But what was the claim of her pain? What was the claim of her that she said, "Oh, is what do I feel?"
Right. So she was claiming she was hit in the left leg area, which would have made contact with your front right corner of your car, and may have pushed her off balance, twisting her right ankle, etc. But like I said, that's a lot of stuff, moving parts, that for us to try to diagnose.
So she said she twisted it. She twisted it?
I don't know what she said. She told the medic.
Oh.
And that's why the medic gave her the option to take her to Baylor. We didn't do a follow-up because we didn't see it as life-threatening, obviously. We thought it might have been minor, in which she would get her checkup, etc. She was given the same report. Now, that's up to your insurance company to follow up with.
I wasn't actually given a report. I had to go and buy one. I wasn't actually given any report. I had to go and buy one to find out exactly what was actually being said about me. They didn't even...
Officer Black and Officer Mata, we gave them a card that had our report number on there.
A report number, yes. Okay, I see what you're saying now.
Yeah, that's what we do. Okay. That's what we
get. Yes. Okay, I understand.
Yeah, because these crash reports aren't really... they take a few business days. I'm not sure how long it took you to get it. So we submitted up to the state of Texas DPS, and then it goes in from there. So it's not like an actual AR report. This is just a crash report. So this is just documenting the incident. It had to get documented due to there being a possibility of injury.
And obviously, there's no charge, no citation.
Right. No one's getting charged with anything. It's just an accident. Keyword accident.
And I don't even see where, I don't know what to say, because I've lost so much money. I'm bordering $1,000 right now. I really am. And I have to pay off my car. It's a rental, but they've deactivated me, and I can't pay it off. So they're going to end up, instead of taking out of rides, they're going to end up debiting it from my account. And I don't have anything to do, because I only get 200 personal miles a week, and
Yeah.
I can't go anywhere. So I'm stuck sitting here at a place, you know. I don't even, I can't call this home.
I understand your frustrations with this, and obviously we're not aware of anything about how this rideshare stuff works. We just know there's a lot of different markets out there. But at the end of the day, we have to cover our tails in order to ensure that we're documenting things properly. Now, with accidents, it's not like something that happens in front of us. We have two parties that are saying one thing, and then we have to kind of look around at things and try to pick up. We look for cameras. They might have picked it up. It's unfortunate. Like I said, the biggest killer right now that dad cam of yours was
the SD card was corrupted because it goes over and over, and it died on me. So I didn't really get another one yet. And actually, that's like the third one. So it's a problem with that. But I mean, I just feel so hurt by this, and financially, I'm about to feel like I'm about to be under a bridge. I may have to just, be in my car and wait for these people to repo it. You know what I mean? Just to be alive here. I mean, just to stay out of the elements. So
yeah, I understand, but I don't want that to happen. Obviously, we're not making these reports to put people out of business. We don't understand how that stuff works. We have to document what we see. You know what I mean? And when we're watching Officer Black's camera, trying to reiterate everything and look back at everything and try to make sure, did we miss something? Because officers were out there, we're kind of looking, trying to put two and two together. We don't know if you pulled out the service or backed up. I mean, we don't know.
And I also have a picture to where, because this car, it pushes water, that oily water out of the exhaust pipe.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have a picture of that as to where, and it's like where my car was. I have from the back, and if I would have moved back, it would have got it on the ground.
Right, and that's what you need to provide to your insurance company, because that doesn't eliminate the report. Like we already made our report. That's done.
I'm just wondering why nobody looks at this stuff on the scene. They just rushed through it. They didn't. They didn't factor it in.
We factor in a lot of things, and we're factoring things that we don't witness. That's what you got to understand. Is we're trying to factor in everything we can at any given moment. It's everything. No matter what kind of call we're on, we have to make a decision, and we have to figure out what's what. So with your condensation and all that emissions that dumps out of the back of your exhaust, if you think about it, it puddles while you're idling, sitting still. Your car was sitting there for a while, but here's not to say that if you made contact with somebody and moved back a little bit, there's not enough time for it to condensate in a pool area forward. So that's what, it's not like we looked at that and made an executive decision just off that alone. There's no one single point of that accident that was like, this guy's definitely at fault, let's just throw it at him. No, not at all. We also investigated her, to see if she was making up anything. Because we don't just let people, make up injuries if they're not injured,
and I noticed she left it blank. She left it blank as far as where it showed injury, not injury,
it's called possible injury because we don't know.
Right, I meant the damage part or whatever.
Right there, because we know as prudent officers that are very neutral biased that even if you were to have struck her, it doesn't matter what miles an hour from standing still in that walking position, nothing would have damaged your vehicle. We would be looking for dirt on car, smeared dirt.
But I can't even find that I can't find that in the photo that I just sent to.
It's going to be hard to. It's angled shots. It's everything. It's you're not going to be able to see on your vehicle. But like I said, this is stuff that I get you're frustrated, but this is what you're saying right now needs to be articulated to your insurance company. That insurance company, because end of the day, what you pay for insurance is what their job is to do. Okay, so if they feel like you are not at fault, etc., that's now on your insurance company to win that battle. They would take her to court civilly, and they would justify everything because all we're doing is putting on what she says on paper and what you said on paper. That's all we do.
Yeah.
And if she's lying, it's going to be your proof of a picture which we allowed you.
But no one put what I said on paper.
What's that?
No one put what I said on paper. Not here.
Well, I understand. Right. And I get we don't get every. So what we do is we run off one unit that caused it and unit 2, which is probably a victim or whoever hit or et cetera. Not saying everything is struck in stone, but we got to say causing factors, what we believe might have happened. It's not saying this is exactly what happened, because we can leave that up to your insurance to debate whether or not that's what happened.
So how do I catch up to this person? I noticed she put her address as the Oyo Hotel. So
yeah.
I don't know, man.
That's a common thing here. There's a lot of these are extended stay hotels. Like, people stay here for months and months and months. That's just how these people live sometimes. We have to go with what she asked.
Man. Well,
I don't want to inconvenience you, but when we get your voicemails and your concern, we try to get back to you as soon as possible. And we get that it got up to our chief, and
yeah, I reached out to him last night.
Yeah, and it's not like you have every right to do so, but we want to be very clear on how we're not throwing the book at you. There's no criminal charges here.
No, you didn't throw the book at me, but it seems like it's off balance to me, and I'm losing trust. That I must tell you. Okay, I love the police. I support the police. I have books published. They're not about the police, but they mention the police in a good way, and I'm not lying. I actually do. But
and I'm sorry.
That's not my main income, and nobody's bought my books. And this is my main income. And this report, I hope I can get out of this, because I don't know what to do.
Have you already gave your pictures to your insurance company?
I can't even. The insurance is with Flex Drive, and Lyft was extremely slow at getting anywhere with this because it was the weekend, and then now I finally got an email from Lyft telling me to be patient. They reactivated me momentarily, and I got a few dollars in toward the car, but then when the safety team came along to finally say something, they said, okay, we're going to cut this off, and we're going to investigate this. So
good. Let them do that.
I have to record this call, so that I can give them your actual opinion and how you stand on this and how you make your opinion. Because absolutely. I mean, this is,
and you need to just step back and let that team do the review. If you have confidence in your side of it, they're going to do their job correctly, and you'll be back before you know it.
But I still have lost confidence in the police. Not everyone, but I've lost confidence, and to such a point where I just kind of have that little feeling of, maybe I just don't necessarily really want to approach you in a way that, I'll be a little more shy now, because and maybe more questioning towards you, and more wanting to know what you're thinking right there, because I thought I could trust you guys, and I kind of just went with, taking pictures, and it ended up like this. I know you didn't put a citation. I know you didn't put, a charge, but it hurts my name. It degrades my professionalism as a driver, which you show that, now in this conversation, what's behind this. So it kind of helps a little, but the way the report is written, it makes me look less of what I am. And I've driven trucks. I've driven for many years, and thousands. I don't even know how many miles. And so it hurts my trust for the police. That can heal, but as far as this report goes, I feel hurt. Well,
we do apologize for that. We're not trying to We're not here to seek anybody. You know, we need all the support we can. And by this decision, we make 1,000 decisions a day, 1,000 decisions on split-second decisions, life and death matters, etc. But by no means are none of us on that scene. We're accident experts, so we're never going to get it correctly right every time without hard evidence. You know what I mean? We weren't there. We don't have video. We're having to make decisions then and now because something has to happen. It either has to get reported one way or another. We have a lady getting pulled in an ambulance, taken to a hospital, and we understand that you have your side as well, that they're sitting there. But we didn't, you know what I mean? We didn't get called there for no reason. You know, something happened and we need to figure out why. So I don't want to. You have every right to your opinion, and I understand your frustration after this incident, but this is not a criminal act. We don't think you're a bad person. We don't think you're a bad driver. Accidents are accidents for a reason. You can't assume that everybody out here is not going to get in an accident. I get in accidents. Everybody do.
But truly, in the picture, you can see there's no crosswalk. It says I entered a crosswalk, and it says I struck a person in the crosswalk.
So by crosswalk not being painted, you have to stop before the sidewalk. And
I did, and I have that in the picture. Right, I sent Officer Bradford.
Great, and we never said you crossed the sidewalk or the crosswalk.
Let's see. Let me reread this. It says Unit 2 began to cross the unmarked crosswalk and was struck by the unit. Okay, maybe I read that wrong. The unit was traveling. Okay, walking.
Right.
Maybe I jumped the gun on that, and I got this on record because it's been recorded. I just said I jumped the gun on that. And maybe I'm just reading it wrong because it doesn't really say I was in the crosswalk. But
right, we wouldn't have put that on there because we knew on the scene that you weren't there.
But she says it does say that she began to walk in a unmarked crosswalk and was struck.
Right,
but so if she was inside the crosswalk, the unmarked crosswalk, and was struck when I was outside of this unmarked crosswalk, it's kind of the same thing.
Could be.
It's kind of the same thing as saying that I entered the crosswalk.
Well, no, because the difference of that would be if we said you were in the crosswalk, she probably wouldn't be able to cross. If you understand that. Now,
but it says that she was struck in the crosswalk. I mean, when she began to cross the unmarked crosswalk and was struck.
So what we're trying to articulate is that there is not a marked crosswalk. So when she begins to walk across that where a normal person would understand a crosswalk to be painted and there not being one there at that location, she could be in various different places. She could be far left, closer to the service road. We don't know. We weren't there. So what we're saying is,
it says she was struck in the crosswalk, though. But yeah, all right.
And where? Yeah.
I don't want to labor this thing on you. I know that it's probably confusing to you, but I don't know what to do. I'm just going to try to wait this out. If not, if I have to, I'm going to go for cell phone records and whatnot, Freedom of Information Act, so I can get what these persons are saying. And I know for a fact that I heard her say, "You almost hit me," which means I didn't hit her,
Right.
And that would have been recorded if someone was close enough, at least on audio. Someone could have heard that. And I know she said that and and no one says anything. No one hears it. I don't understand that. But so if I have to, I'm gonna have to do this. I must, if I'm forced to, and I don't want to look like I hate the police. I don't want to look like I'm out to get you. But I just don't know what else I can do, So I'm going to wait this out. Maybe I'll lose more money. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't. It's like hell is the limit going down. You know, I'll be in a hole. I'm already halfway there. So.
Well, we don't want you to feel that way. But I appreciate you taking the time to talk to us. I'm glad we got to talk about it and clear a few things up. But I hope for the best for you, and I hope they resolve it quickly and kind of come up with a good solution about this for you. It's going to be on your insurance's whatever safety team. If they want to investigate it, that's probably the best chance to get it. That way it saves you from spending money out of your pocket and lets them do their job that you paid them to do.
And I hope you're not mad at me for saying
no, sir. Everybody, I can't make. We understand this job. We can't make everybody happy. That's going to be impossible to do. At some point, we have to be the bad guy, and we have to make decisions that's not favorable to everybody in this world. We're very apparent that if we were aware that this was going to happen, a lot of us wouldn't get in this job. But you know, it is what it is, and we have to. You know, end of the day, we have to do our job fairly and unbiasedly.
Well, okay. I guess I'll just let you go. And
all right, sir. I appreciate you talking to me.
All right. Bye.
Thanks.